Welcome to Car Con Carne episode 1000. Car Con Carne is a Q101 podcast. I'm James Van Osdell, and what you're watching or listening to is one of a 3-volume anniversary episode recorded at live events held at 4 different locations throughout the greater Chicagoland area. Skeleton Key Brewery in Woodridge, Siren Records in McHenry, Liars Club in Chicago, and the Q101 Lounge at the radio station Q101. My original idea was to combine all the interviews and performances at all 4 locations into one big, super episode, but I realized it's just way too much content. People don't sit through or watch that much. It would have been hours. So I chunked everything up to make it all more digestible across 3 parts, and hopefully it is. For this episode, you will see and hear an interview and performance from the super cool jazz group the Black and Blue Hearts, an interview and performance from the incredible Ike Reilly, a comedy set from Kevin Kellam, an interview and performance from the very scary the Ooozin Ahhhs, also an interview with Chicago punk legends the Effigies. In between everything, you'll get to enjoy messages and testimonials from former podcast guests on this episode 1000 anniversary. Before we dive in, I should mention that Car Con Carne is sponsored by Easy Automation. Are you ready to turn your home into a smart home? Are you ready to have seamless control over everything? Climate, audio, video, security, and more. It's so easy to do, and you can get a totally hassle-free quote by calling my guy Dan. Dan can be found, this is his personal phone number, 630-730-3728, or visit Dan on the web, easy-automation.net.
Hey now, this is Josh Caterer. I play in a band called the Smoking Popes, but my real claim to fame is that I'm the man responsible for this song. It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Osdell. Congratulations on 1,000 episodes, James. It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Osdell.
Did anyone stumble into this room by accident? Like you had no idea what this was? Okay, cool. And that's fair. Welcome. What this is, my name's James Van Osdell, and I do a podcast called Car Con Carne. I've done it for like 10 plus years, and I'm about to do my 1000th episode. So what I'm doing tonight and across a few other nights, I'm recording live podcasts at places all around the city and suburbs, and it all starts here at Skeleton Key. All right, so my first guest on stage, we're just going to waste no time. We're going to get right to live music. This band caught my attention. It's wonderful. It's jazzy, torchy, totally compelling. I was hooked the second I heard the theme song, Moonlight Milady. Please welcome Car Con Carne episode 1000, the Black and Blue Hearts.
Thank you, James Van Osdell, everybody. The first song we're going to do is an original song. In Dixon, Illinois, in the late 1800s, a Bible salesman was stabbed to death and left on the side of the road. So here's a happy song about that. The song's called Bloody Gulch Road. It's a real road in Dixon. It's the only road in Dixon. You ever been out there, man? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. did you do it? Frenchie, was it you? Frenchie, did you make his bed full of crimson red for his mortal coil on a cursed soul? Did you take a life on Bloody Gulch Road? Nevermore cry the birds and call this place their home. They seen the light been snuffed out of those that come along. And everything that goes in gets swallowed up in black. 3 steps you'll make it home tonight, 4 steps you won't come back. Frenchie, did you do it? Frenchie, was it you? Frenchie, did you make his bed full of crimson red for his mortal coil on a cursed soul? Did you take a life on Bloody Gulch Road? Did you do it? Did you do it? Did you do it? Did you do it? Legends, myths, and folk tales keep this place alive. Some say it's just a cover-up, whatever's deep inside. Don't stop for any reason, just stay on the path. Eyes forward, don't go wandering or face the devil's wrath. Frenchie, did you do it? Frenchie, was it you? Frenchie, did you make his bed full of crimson red for his mortal coil on a cursed soul? Did you take a life on Bloody Gulch Road? On Bloody Gulch Road, on Bloody Gulch Road, on Bloody Gulch Road. Did you do it?
That was wonderful. That was really a fantastic way to start off. I think more podcasts need stand-up bass in their presentation.
I agree.
Amen to that.
I guess tell the origin story of the Black and Blue Hearts, and you can't tell the story without talking about Spectral Silhouette.
Yeah, so I met Colleen a few years back. She's a wonderful singer. She's able to sing jazz, heavy metal, rock and roll, whatever. But I loved her doing like torchy jazz stuff, and I wrote a bunch of jazz tunes. So I asked her if she wanted to do a record, and I was like, we started recording together, and we kind of decided like, well, we could just release this EP, and then like people listen to it once, and then if like their couch is uneven, they'll balance it out with it or whatever. And I
That's
just
assuming they'll buy the physical music to start with.
buy.
Yeah.
No, we'd give it out. Times are tough out there as local musicians, as you guys know. But I always wanted to do a radio show because I was inspired by like The Shadow and The Whistler and all that stuff, old time radio. So,
The classic, the good radio show.
yeah. So the 30s and 40s stuff.
Yeah.
So
None of that 90s bullshit.
we ended up doing we developed an entire radio show that, you know, I write the scripts, I write the songs. We have like a 30-person cast and crew. We have our great band, the Black and Blue Hearts, our guys that back us, all great jazz players that play around. And
I was watching the guitarist, like, it's effortless watching that dude play.
I know, it makes me upset.
He doesn't even break a sweat.
He was so dialed in. I was
Yeah.
like watching him just move his fingers around the neck. It just blew my mind.
It's fun because when you look at him, he's just nodding to himself like he knew he did a good job. You know what I mean? He just tells, he's like, yep, that was a good run. I did it. But yeah, we developed the project, and now we've done 2 seasons. We sell out. We do 2 nights here. We sell out the room. And we've won a couple awards for the show now. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
And when we first started doing the show, I became friends with you, and I asked James to be our narrator. So the first season of our program was all James, and I appreciate you doing that. I'm so happy you asked us to do this, man. It means a lot. Thank you, man.
He is the subject of the outstanding new documentary film Don't Turn Your Back on Friday Night. You can stream it tonight. In fact, you should. It is so. I've seen it 3 times. He is an absolute songwriting treasure, one of my all-time favorite lyricists, my number 1 draft pick for episode 1000, the perfect artist for today, a troubadour, a true talent, Ike Reilly.
A beautiful girl once said to me, some men will rob you with poetry. Instead of watching you while you sleep, kiss your ears and make you weep. She's a whack out, she don't back down. And through my back out, whacking that ass. Now I'm talking about a love that don't make a sound. Think about a lie that'll really get around. Juice and Zoloft, booze and Prozac, Vicodin and Heineken and Wild Irish Rose. Cars and girls and drinks and songs. Leave that shit in the middle of the road. What about love and what about trust? What do you know about my love? Stood among the millionaires, invisible with conventionaires. The gay young rich with their messy hair, shot their dreams with cappuccinos and make my dreams of El Caminos. Real and Chevelle's appealing. Chuck Berry Cadillac, Ludacris Cadillac. Jerry Lee Lewis with his balls on fire in the back of a Rocket 88 with an out-of-state plate and an underage date. Cars and girls and drinks and songs. Leave that shit in the middle of the road. What about love and what about trust? What do you know about my love? And hair-dyed, songwriting, fraud, Hollywood, eating money, making I'm eating bacon from a baggie in my pocket with my lover in a locket. A life that I mock till the day that I drop. Till the shock spot I'm out till I'm found out. As a fraud and a faker and a liar and a loud striver and a seeker that's always in doubt. I've been thinking about a lie that'll really get around now. Really get around now.
Yeah, bring the guitar. It lends authenticity.
That's what I need.
Yes, he's a musician. And talk directly on mic.
I'm tired of faking.
So Ike's most recent album is Because the Angels. It's the most recent album. Most recent single this year, It's Hard to Leave You for the Ocean. New single on the way on November 1st.
Yep.
You're a busy guy.
Nah.
You're recording tonight?
Yeah.
Like just one song or like a whole album's worth of songs?
We'll just do one.
One
at a time.
It's 2024. You're doing this a la carte. It's a singles world we live in.
I just record every Sunday, and Monday and Tuesday.
So we haven't talked interview-wise about the documentary yet, and I've been dying to. Who's seen it? Don't turn your back on Friday night. It's so good. I'm assuming you're all in a record store. You're here for this podcast event. We all love music documentaries. We love those peeks behind the curtain. Ike, you unabashedly shared your entire life with the camera, which I've known you. You mentioned I've known you for years. Was that a tough sell to get you to agree to that? To share that much?
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to make a film about the band and the music, and I was willing to do that. And these guys really wanted to. They said there were enough flaws there to make a interesting documentary about. But it took a while. But now the shit's out there, and there's no taking it back.
There's no putting the genie back in the bottle or whatever the cliche is.
No.
So the movie debuted in Chicago at Metro, 2 events at Metro. I went to one of those, and I watched some of the movie with you. It's got to be weird seeing yourself and your family on screen like that.
It's a little disturbing, and it's been a drag. And if the only reason I would do it is to try to get more work and play more. If that doesn't happen, I'm fucked.
What was great about I wish more music documentaries would play in live venues like this. People were cheering. People were laughing along. People were getting choked up. It was a fun community event, which I hadn't expected.
We did those all over the country, but the one at the Metro was a blast because, of course, I met you at the Metro practically, and I've been playing there so long. And, just to see friends, fans, family, and then all our personal mess on a big, huge screen,
Well, the documentary isn't like this linear story. Ike Reilly was born on this date, and then walking through every step, every music industry, whatever, to today. It's a story about family, and it's a story. One of the stories I picked up. It's a story about finding that creative spark.
Yeah, it was probably more of that than I would hope for. I always thought I was from the school of thought like there should be some mystery in the songs, but we picked about 8 of them and at least talked about maybe what the catalyst for the song was or some element of it. But I got to give props to the filmmakers because they assembled a story that really was non-linear and interesting. Talked about booze, religion, family, America, what anybody that ever tried to do anything they gave a shit about has to do.
As a music fan, as a fan of your music, it was fun to have that curtain kind of peeled back and watch the process. Watch the process for Trick of the Light, how that evolved, what looked like over a kitchen table with you and your sons.
Yeah, they were indentured servants to rock and roll. They're everyone says, "Oh, your kids are talented." They're not really talented. They're uninhibited. So they're not afraid to make asses of themselves. We come from a long line of those people.
Well, that song in particular, from that most recent album I mentioned, I think that's a high watermark for you, and just seeing it get workshopped. As someone who doesn't write songs, who doesn't create, watching that process, I thought was super cool. I'm glad it was included.
Yeah, I'm glad that was included too. It also was a great representation of my abusive parenting.
A little bit.
Kidding about real abuse. All right, it's just it's just mental abuse. That's okay.
An interesting note for those who've seen the movie and could probably relate to this. There's a story very early on in the movie where the background behind "Put a Little Love in It," one of your signature songs, is explained. And I remember the first time I watched the movie, I thought, this is a lot of exposition up front about that particular song. And after seeing it the second time, I realized this was an important tactical move by the filmmakers because explaining the story of "Put a Little Love in It" really explains the story of you as a songwriter and where you find inspiration. It took me 2 viewings to realize why that placement and why the length of that story was so important.
Yeah, I think why they did that actually tells the viewer a lot, where I worked, where I'm from, that I've suffered loss like everybody has, and that I'm not afraid to, the songs are reverent in a way too about something that's really pretty horrific for me.
And a couple of the people talking in the movie referenced that, like, dark subject matter, but what a joyful song.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a theme in, like, from Irish people, not that I claim to be, I'm of Irish descent, but, you know, dark humor and humor to ease the pain of death and loss.
Tom Morello is the executive producer. You grew up with Tom Morello. His mom taught you in school. I mean, that's amazing. As the executive producer, it seems that his mission is just everyone in the world needs to know who Ike Reilly is. Like, enough's enough. Like, everyone needs to get on the Ike train.
I owe him so much money that he needs me to start making some. You know, so he's like, I got to get this deadbeat paid. Now, he's been it's funny, we weren't friends as kids. I'm a little older, and he was a thespian, and I wasn't running around with the drama kids. But he and my wife were classmates, and in the movie, and it's true, his first paying gig was her 8th grade graduation party. I always tell her, you hitched your wagon to the wrong rocker out of Libertyville. That's for sure. You're living in fucking Laurel Canyon instead of Drake Street.
And it's worth noting, Cara Dean is the MVP of the movie.
That's what I've been told. You know, the most uncooperative participant in the film, that's my wife. Wants nothing to do with any of it, but they're like, she was the last person they interviewed. But, you know, she is a pivotal part of the story and of my life, obviously.
At the end of the day, did the movie hit the mark for you?
Oh, the movie is fantastic, you know, in spite of, you know, me being in it, but I mean, I'm proud that the band was captured. You know, we've been slugging it out in clubs all over the country for 25 years, and I think some of that, some of the magical things we've done in clubs is well represented. I think it comes across. I mean, I really want the film to be more successful so my bandmates can all reap some financial benefits and we can work more, because I have an incredible band. It's like crazy.
And the vetting of the band members is addressed in the movie. Like, you only have the best. And Adam Cryer, I forgot the exact quote, talked about having to learn a bunch of songs really quick to join your band, and you busted his balls like, you know, Springsteen, or I forgot what the reference was.
I think I told him, I think he needed to learn like 25 songs, and first of all, he's like a savant.
He is.
He does, like, he knows my songs before I do, you know, but I said, you gotta learn like 25 songs by, you know, next Saturday. And then he claims, I said, my friend Tom had to learn 300 songs in 24 hours for Springsteen. And I'm sure I exaggerated and threatened him, you know, with some tall tale. But
This is Sean Whitaker from the band Kill Scenes, here to say congratulations, James. 1,000 episodes is crazy. Here's to 1,000 more. Cark and Carney's the best because you're the best.
Hi, I'm Jamie.
And I'm Deb.
We're with the band 13 Monsters, and
We're also with Music Graphic Chicago and Leo Graphic Chicago.
we want to wish James Van Osdol
Happy anniversary 1000th show.
1,000 shows!
Yes,
We were on 2 of those shows.
we were.
How fucking cool is that?
Very cool.
He's the best.
He is the best, and we're so lucky to have been on the shows. Thank you, James, from the bottom of our hearts for having us on the shows and giving your listeners such great content to listen to.
You're the best!
Bye.
Please welcome a very funny guy, a friend of mine, Kevin Kellam.
All right, let's give it up for James Van Osdol, everybody. Everybody there in the back, give it up for James. That's right, your local alderman of alternative rock music, all right? He's going to call the comptroller of classic rock, and he's get this entire area redistrict. How we doing, adult goths? How are you? Did everyone take their Trent Reznor Flintstone vitamins today? Are you guys awake? I'm doing pretty good. I'm also an immature adult. I'm pretty good. I'm very, very excited about being here. I'm pretty good. I work on the radio. Anyone still listening? Anyone? That was prompted enthusiasm. Not what we wanted. Not what we wanted. All right? Yeah, everyone's label rep clapped real loud during that one. So here's the thing. I work on radio, and I tell people I do that, and then they kind of do like a small golf clap and tell me they're happy that's still a thing. When you are the thing that they are like, wow, that's still a thing, not good. Not good. I listen to Spotify. Good for you. You listen to Spotify. That's nice. We're also all terrified that AI is going to replace us as human beings, but you're giving it all of your time and money. Why are you doing that? You don't like Drake. A computer in Indiana told you did. That's what it is. You need a white man like me downtown in a big tower saying, you, sir, look like a Reba McEntire man. Boom. Press play. Drive your car to the suburbs. You know? Yeah, I love the radio. I used to sleep next to the stereo as a child. Do we have any other stereo children here? Yeah? Stereo children. They're going to be on at 11 a.m. at Riot Fest next year. No, but I was a radio kid. All I ever wanted to do when I was a kid was be on the radio. I used to sleep next to the stereo as a child. My mom said, "You were the child who smiled and slept. Our little Kevin from heaven, the child who smiled and slept." The Child Who Smiles and Sleeps is a Stephen King novel that hasn't been written yet. Don't know if you guys understand that, all right? Because I'm getting poisoned. They didn't put on Q101 when I was a kid, all right? They put on WLS 890 AM conservative talk radio in the 90s, okay? I'm not scared of the boogeyman. I'm scared of those goddamn Clintons. You know? Like, I am just into it, dude. I'm coming down to the breakfast table, smacking Captain Crunch off it, saying, "No, mother, all I will have is cash for gold. That is all I will have." All the commercials got me. But all I ever wanted to do was finally get on the radio. And it took me years and years and years and years to do it. And I finally got on this little radio station you guys may be familiar with, Chicago's alternative rock, Q101. All right, there we go. Yeah. They put me on right after James Van Oslo played Limp Bizkit 9 times in a row. He's been hearing about that for 25 years. I had to bring it up. Did we catch the fuck in the background? Yeah. But I finally got on Q101, and it's all I ever wanted. And I was with the girl for 5 years, so it's time for this. Audibly, I'm putting the hand out. I'm pressing all 4 fingers down so someone notices a ring, right? I did that for the podcast audience there. All I ever wanted to do was make myself on the radio, and I finally got to do it, and she was with me for years and years and years, and it was time for me to propose. But you can't just propose now, because everything has to be a big scene. You got to do it the big rock radio DJ way. I know you guys are cool, into all the indie bands. I'm going to tell you about a mainstream thing. It's called Lollapalooza. Are we aware of it? You guys aware of Lollapalooza at the bar? Real Riot Fest crowd here. I want to play to the room, all right? So Lollapalooza is this little thing that happens at the lake, okay? There's like 100,000 people that show up. Do you guys follow? Are you with me? Okay. There's this band on stage. They're called the Foo Fighters. Do we know them? Are we aware of them in the room? All right. So Dave Grohl's on stage. All right. Dave Grohl. He's the most foo of the fighters. Do you follow? All right. You're still with me. Okay. So I get down on bended knee right before he plays that big song. Right. And he stops the show and he goes, "Wait, is that Kevin, the overnight weekend DJ from Q101? I have to stop this show and say, what are you doing?" And I say, "I'm asking Lindsay the most important question." And she just said yes. And Lindsay said yes. And he goes, "This song is for you." And then he plays My Hero. He presses a button. Doves fly out. There's pyrotechnics. The doves are not harmed, okay? It's a great day. That's what I thought was going to happen. Yeah, oh no, indeed. Because Lindsay decided to break up with me via text, while she's drunk, with her girlfriends, in St. Louis. You were there. While I'm live on Q101. Yeah, that really happened. What do you think the worst part of that was? There's a lot going on at once. You can just say whatever you think the worst part was. The radio? No, actually, St. Louis, okay? You want to ruin my life? Go somewhere fucking nice. You know what I mean? What are we doing here? The Dells are right there. Water slide capital of the world. No, you got to do it while I'm on the radio. I don't know if you guys know this about alternative rock music. It's the soundtrack of the worst day of your fucking life. Did you guys know that? Oh my God, this whole time I didn't know. Green Day, Boulevard of Broken Dreams comes on. Not a real street, but you live on it, okay? It's right there. Boulevard of Broken Dreams and Armitage Avenue. That's where you are, Kevin. All right? So get on air and don't you start fucking crying. Don't you start crying. This is all you have over your brothers. Don't you start crying, Kevin. All right? I'm not going to cry. Sir, I need a man to hold my hand. Can you come and hold my hand, sir? Can you come and hold my hand? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm not going to cry. Here we go. Click, bong. Oh, no. It's Q101. My name is Kevin. You just heard the band Pearl Jam. They just played a song called Daughter. The name of the song is Daughter, which is something I just found out I'm never going to have in my life. We're going to be at the O'Reilly Auto Parts store today on Belmont Avenue from 12 to 3. If you want to come out, you can get a free beer koozie. Just remember to say the phrase that pays, which is fuck you, Lindsay, okay? You say that, you get a free beer koozie, all right? But there is a note inside of the koozie, and you have to give it to Lindsay because she is not responding to text messages currently. Oh, O'Reilly! Broken Hearts. Let's get back into the jams. Okay, all right. This one's from a band called Blink-182. It's called I Miss You. Who's picking the goddamn songs? It's been 5 years. I really think I'm over it. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it.
James, how you doing? Gary Meyer here. Couple things. Congratulations on your anniversary of picking people up in your vehicle and interviewing them. Have your lawyer look into this. I think you've been doing this longer than Jerry Seinfeld. He might owe you money because I think he ripped you off. I know you invented the microphone attached to the steering wheel. Get that patented, my friend. I admire you so much that I have built a vehicle simulator, and what I'm doing every day, I practice interviewing people in this vehicle simulator, and this is my test guest, all right? Hey, Jerry, how you doing? I'm James Van Osdol, and how long you been in the business? No, wait, that's your voice. Hey, Jerry, how long you been in the business? I've been in the business a long time. Hey, listen, who do you think's going to win the presidential election? Well, I don't know. I'm undecided. How am I doing, James? Am I getting close? Thank you, brother, for all your inspiration. Thank you.
Fair warning, if there are any people who are pregnant, any people who are easily scared, now's the time to leave, and we understand. If you're good, okay, please welcome the Ooozin Ahhhs.
Thank you, James. It's a pleasure to be here for the 1,000th episode of Car Con Carne. Thank you for Skeleton Key Brewing. This is a magnificent venue. We're enjoyed and thrilled to be here. James, speaking of which, I can't believe that you always provide food for your guests on Car Con Carne, but this is a magnificent, it's a smorgasbord, a feast. Blue Eyes, look, it's like a buffet. Who are you gonna nibble on first?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Tasty indeed.
Ah, juicy. More like Car Con Carnes. Am I right?
All right, enough of that frivolity. This is our theme song entitled The Ooozin Ahhhs. Breaking the rules, black cat's life, leaving a guy, rolling high, brotherly thread, it loses from your feminine. Werewolf high in the dead of night, witches brew and angels too. Black cats play with zombies play. You're all gonna die tonight. Thank you. We are the Ooozin Ahhhs.
Don't sit too close.
What is too close?
Hello, Ooozin Ahhhs. No, okay, I've got to ask right off the bat. Last time I saw you, you had a female presence in the band. I mean, this is...
She's still present. She's just working tonight.
Yeah, she's a busy
MX
Supreme.
Supreme.
Very busy calendar. She's off doing charity work for some poor, unfortunate souls.
That's what you want to call it. Yeah.
Can we agree right now that Ikfas is the MVP of the Ooozin Ahhhs?
He is actually the most articulate.
Cigars and Stripes and Liars Club on Halloween weekend. I know you're busy this time of year. You know you're getting something special when a band pulls out both a farfisa and a theremin on stage. That's...
Yeah, it is special. You're right.
So, knowing that this is your busy time, when do you emerge from your crypts? Is it like post-Labor Day? Is it like you stop wearing white and the Ooozin Ahhhs come out of hiding?
November 1st.
We're still dead.
We have the actual mausoleum as well stocked. We just stay there and rehearse most of the year, really.
All year.
What's the best Halloween candy?
Money.
It's Reese's Pieces, and everyone knows
So
it.
I go back to like Halloween.
Thank you, Morgan. Gustav, do you have an elixir that could turn James Van Osdol into Jane's blood oozing?
I do have that elixir, but I was told Igor was going to bring it. Igor, damn you, where are you? He's always playing with my elixir. He turned me into a clone, and now there's another one of me running around somewhere. Oh, sure, the clone says I'm the clone, but he's the clone, and he knows it.
It's true. He's speaking the
There are
truth.
4 clones at this point. We have made a huge mistake.
The clones been clones?
Yes.
I'm
very sorry.
The thing is, we used to have a mummy, James.
Right.
We used to have a mummy, but he liked rap.
Had to go.
So
Just to reiterate, Carcon Carney is a Q101 podcast, not a New York Times podcast.
And he's gone now.
So we're at a brewery. Do monsters drink?
Oh, fuck it.
Really, whatever we can get our hands on.
Oodles.
You know what? I'm perfectly sober.
So for those in attendance who may not be as familiar with the Ooozin Ahhhs, give me some history for the uninitiated.
I'll tell you.
Please. Please.
I'll tell you right now. It was Halloween 1994. There was a plane crash in Indianapolis, and there was. You can go ahead and Google that. And it was a rainy night.
Can we get some real-time fact-checking on this?
No, go ahead. There was a plane crash that night, and I decided that being in a Halloween rock and roll band would be great. And then I got caught up in a caravan.
A gypsy caravan?
No, a Dodge Caravan. And that was where the idea came from.
Cool. All right, mark it 8:18. This is when I lost control of the entire podcast. All right, so
elaborate on this story a bit, James. There was a time later on where Bad Jeff and Boris and myself, we were.
Bad Jeff is vaping next to me.
Yeah, we.
I'm pretty sure he can't do that in here.
And Jeff shared this idea with us, and we had the proverbial paper napkin conversation about how this would work out. And here we are.
It's
Covered in fleas.
It's worked out great.
Well, I think
It's awesome.
there's an entrepreneurial lesson to be shared here. Find something you do that no one else does and do it really well, and you'll be successful. And you guys
We
have
got
done
the first
that.
part down just right.
Thank you, Ooozin Ahhhs.
Lovely seeing you all.
Thank you, James. Appreciate you.
JBO.
It's Marina City. Want to congratulate you on hitting 1,000 episodes for Car Con Carne. It's absolutely amazing. It's so well deserved. It's the best podcast on the planet. We wouldn't be where we're at amongst many other bands. Wouldn't be where they're at without you. You're the king of the scene, and we love you so much. Thank you so much, and congratulations to you. Go, 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 JBO! Yeah!
My next guest is our final guest for this recording today. I saved the most iconic, the most legendary band for last. Please welcome the Effigies. So if you're familiar with the documentary, you weren't there. It's a history of the dawn of Chicago punk rock. I wasn't there. You were there, okay. I was too young, but the Effigies were there. They were there at ground zero for Chicago punk and hardcore. One of the bands that truly changed the trajectory of Chicago music for the better. Burned is the new Effigies album. It's the first release in 17 years. It's every bit as sharp, dangerous, and exciting as music created by people 1/3 the band members' ages. Not saying you're old, I'm just saying it's really sharp and dangerous and exciting, but it's also bittersweet. The release follows the untimely and tragic death of frontman John Kesdy 1 year ago. And so we're going to talk about the past, the present, and I'm here with Paul and Steve from the Effigies. Let's start with John. Let's talk a little bit about him, because it's the elephant in the room as we're talking about this album. Yeah. His voice is on it. He is, the front man. What was John like as the front man and singer of this band?
I mean, he was really honest with how he felt. He always sung about his life experiences and experiences through his work. He was a prosecutor. But before that, when we started the band, I mean, he was, to be honest with you, he was a very angry guy at that, and it came through, and he saw things that bothered him, and he wrote about it, injustices, and I think that's why he went into the field he did.
He also, I mean, me and John were so different in so many ways, but we had so many laughs together. We all met on the the common goal that we had, and that was punk rock music. Everything else kind of didn't mean anything else to us. That's what our goal was to make music.
Let's start there. What was the landscape like when you found each other? Because I mean, like I said, you were at ground zero. Like, was there a scene, or did you create the scene?
No, actually, the first punk scene was. I mean, people are nostalgic for it. They think it was this great thing. It was very difficult at first, and the first scene started really in the gay clubs. It was Lemaire and Oz, and there was
Albanians
that only had like punk dance nights, like maybe 1 or 2 times during the week.
And they were really relegated to the worst areas in Chicago.
Right.
Which added to the punk rock aesthetic.
But the first scene was really kind of like a handful of bands that started. It wasn't an all ages thing. It was going to the regular bars. It was only after the first wave of Chicago punk bands played, the second wave came in. That's when you started having the all ages shows, and that's when the real hardcore scene started. The first scene was more, I think, eclectic. You'd have something hard, something more arty, something there was a lot of different types of bands playing. It was very
There was a few bands that preceded us, like alternative band. Skatefish was probably the first punk alternative band representing Chicago. But we came out of the scene and we took it nationally before anybody else did.
Body Bag still echoes. Like that song in particular, oh my God. Like every time I hear that, it sounds brand new.
Yeah.
I still hear every mistake I made, so we hope to, we actually have the new, the original 2 tracks, 2-inch tapes that we had mastered. So we're going to remix Body Bag and Word the Machine, the whole record, and Haunted Town.
We're going to remix our whole entire catalog. But see, the Body Bags is a typical example of how John would sing about real life events, because that was about the airplane crash at O'Hare. So he would weave in all these things that he read about, or when he was working as a prosecutor, he'd write songs about some of his cases. So he'd kind of weave in fiction with,
The great thing about Johnny is
reality.
His lyrics are still timeless.
Yeah.
He didn't timestamp anything by being, referencing
certain political
politicians
things,
or groups. So, I mean, Mob Clash is about the Nazi rally in Skokie, but he never mentions that because it could be about any rally today.
Yeah.
So I think that song is still relevant as ever.
My favorite Effigies song.
Yeah. It's still my favorite, actually.
Jumping a little bit ahead, Metro on Friday, December 20th, it is the Effigies John Kesdy Memorial Concert and Record Release.
Yes.
Celebrating the record release. The Bull Weevils and Ganser opening up.
Yes.
I love
What a
this
lineup.
multi-generational punk rock bill.
That was actually thought out to be that way. So.
It's perfect because you've got different decades and different styles and different
Right, we want to
aesthetics.
bring everyone together. We want to celebrate
Well, that's
John's...
what punk rock's supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Right. And we went
It's a total community of people.
30 years from now, Ganser will be doing a podcast talking
right.
about, the early days.
Let's get in.
Yeah, who knows what they'll have in 30 years.
Let's talk a little bit about Burned, about recording.
Yeah.
The last recordings with John. What were these sessions like?
Well, they were, our recording sessions are just a lot of fun. We have a lot of laughs in the studio, because it gets tedious, and we just felt we were in the right direction, and we started practicing to do live shows with Andy on guitar.
Andy Gerber.
Yeah,
Andy incredibly talented
Yes.
for Million Young.
Yeah, and he really helped pull this whole project together.
And we were just in a great place,
Yeah.
and boy, we weren't ready for that.
Do you think John would be okay with it? Do you think he'd want it to be out?
I think he'd be proud of it. I really do. Yeah, and I think he would want us to keep playing, keep the songs alive.
And that leads to my next question: are you going to keep playing? I know you're touring with Black Crows, which sounds bananas to me, but awesome.
Yeah, that's a very strange.
There's been a lot of stuff
comparison, but
it's been hard to get my mind around in the last
Right.
year. And now I'll just say we'll just take it as it comes. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows what's coming next?
But we're really excited to have that experience, I think, and to just get in front of some new people and just play our balls off. That's what we want to do.
Let's talk about Sortie, French for exit.
Yeah.
That song, opening up the record, that is just a lacerating, welcome back Effigies song. Like that is the perfect song to kind of bring you back into the fold.
It's also a strange song, and if you read the lyrics, he talks about grabbing his bags and heading out. So it's like bittersweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the lyrics on this, foreshadow a lot of things that happen. So it's like.
So, how emotional will it be to play Chicago on the 20th?
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough, but we're going to do it. Yeah.
It's emotional for many reasons. I mean, because we pretty much, no one heard from us for 15 years. I pretty much thought the Effigies would never play again. And then during COVID and the loss of Pierre kind of sparked us to, get us going again.
If there's one benefit to the pandemic, it's realizing, I got to be with my people, and I can't let things just fade away.
For us and a lot of bands.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So in addition to the new album, we're also getting the 40th anniversary release of Forever Grounded. I mean,
yes.
Andy Gerber, who you mentioned.
Right.
Andy did all the work on this new one. He spent endless hours remixing it. He took the old 16 track, and tried to figure out what the hell the guy did before us, and
cleaned it up, put a 21st century.
Yeah, but we have a whole new art package with it.
bass.
It's got a lot of old photographs in there, track sheets, lyrics. It's going to be a nice kind of 40th anniversary package for that. Yeah.
I, for one, I'm sure everyone in this crowd agrees. I'm really glad you're back. I'm glad that you were carrying on in John's name, carrying on the legacy. Such an important, influential, just powerful fucking band from Chicago. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Effigies,
We love
everybody.
Chicago. We love Chicago.
thanks for having us.
There you have it. One of 3 parts, the 3-volume episode 1000 of Car Con Carne. So many amazing human beings to thank. First of all, the venues and their owners. Skeleton Key Brewery, Paul and Emily Slayton. Absolutely one of the area's best and friendliest craft breweries. Just a fantastic place to hang. Herb Rosen at Liars Club. Also Gary and Scott and the entire team there. I love that room. Zero bullshit. Rock and roll at its core. Truly an honor recording at Liars Club. Siren Records, Bill and Jenny Lindquist at Siren. What an oasis that place is in McHenry County. Truly, I'm grateful for the Lindquists and being able to have an in-store at their record store. Special thanks I have to give to Henry Scherer and Matt Winkleman. Their kindness, their unbelievable professionalism, and their expertise made Skeleton Key such a delight. And they really, what they accomplished there made me feel confident and awesome about the rest of these recordings. I want to thank Ooozin Ahhhs, who is a fellow Niles West graduate. Go Indians. He helped pull off the very challenging production aspects of what we did at Liars Club. Video-wise, oh my God, Zach Spangler. He is a friend of this show, an ally of Car Con Carne, one of the best in digital media. He was there for Liars Club, Skeleton Key, and of course the Q101 Lounge. He did a masterful job of shooting everything and pulling it all together so it looks fantastic. Thank you, of course, to all the performers, the musicians, the author, the comedians who gave so freely their time and talent to participate in this landmark watershed episode. Thanks also to friends old and new who came out to the live events. And thank you for watching, for listening, otherwise supporting Car Con Carne. I do this all by myself. It's just me. It's totally independent. So to have you along feels amazing. If this is your first episode, welcome. If you've plowed through a couple hundred, oh my God, if you did, I'm incredibly grateful. Thank you for allowing me to provide this platform for Chicago arts, music, entertainment, and culture. And food, too. No food this time around. Next time, for sure. Car Con Carne, of course, available all the usual places. Listen on Apple, Spotify, Audible, carconcarne.com. Also watch the videos on YouTube or Facebook, although don't even bother with Facebook. They're deprioritizing the long-form video content, so I guess just go to YouTube for the videos. Be sure to check out the other two parts of episode 1000, which have entirely different rosters of guests, performances, and interviews. The thank you section of all three parts is exactly the same. It's what you're watching and hearing right now. It didn't make sense to record that 3 different times, right? It's the same content. I don't think so. Anyway, thank you. You made it this far. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here for episode 1000. I'll keep going. I don't know if I have another 1,000 in me, but at the very least, I'll be back for episode 1001.